Hello Nasty Cobras and welcome to the Tube. We got an extra spicy one for you this eve and that's what's in our lineup. Twitter breaks the news. Again, former President Shimon Peres is looking for a job. Google's broadcasting drones. 4chan douchebags threaten Emma Watson. Our worldwide weekly startup report, The Social Watch and more. Yes, let's start. There's always talk about how Twitter is the best social network for breaking news. Well, yesterday gave the world a good example of exactly that. The US has launched its first ever airstrikes in Syria against terrorist groups affiliated with ISIS. The Pentagon announced at about 9:30 a.m. Eastern US time. It was nice to know, but many users on Twitter already knew. The news of the attack, it turns out, was actually broken 30 minutes earlier by a Syrian Twitter user in the city of Raqqa, where ISIS has its headquarters, who heard the strikes and speculated correctly. It turned out that this was the beginning of the American air campaign. The Twitter user named Abdul Qadir Hariri posted the massive explosions had rocked ISIS headquarters and that the skies were full of warplanes and drones. Are you worried what Mr. Shimon Peres is going to do now that he's no longer Israel's president? Well, don't be. The 91-year-old Peres, who has more energy than, well, many people decades younger, is already looking for a new job. From a just-released humorous video from the Peres Center for Peace, it seems the former politician is keeping his head open and willing to try just about anything. The clip premiered yesterday at the Atlantic Council Conference in New York and is starting to make its way through the web. Here's a part of this cute craziness.
שלום, 95 מלא.
שמן מים?
לא תודה.
2 שישיות מים ב-20 שקלים?
אני לא מעוניין.
אתה רוצה נוזל לכביש שמשות?
אני לא מעוניין.
מחצלת לקמפינג אולי?
טוב, בוא נתקדם.
בסדר. ערכת קריוקי?
אני לא מעוניין, אוקיי?
מצופים דורה?
לא, אפשר לשלם?
שמע, אם תמשיך להגיד לא לכל הצעה, תשלם מחיר כבד.
טוב, תביא את המצופים.
סע שלום. זה הפתרון היחידי.
שלום.
נשק יש?
לא.
האינטלקט הוא הנשק הטוב ביותר. רובה סער יש?
לא.
כוונת צלפים?
לא, מה פתאום?
טיול בליסטי נגד ספינות?
לא.
מצוין. ננו-טכנולוגיה היא העתיד. תיכנס.
תודה.
מקסים, אבל אני באמת לא יכול.
העתיד שייך למי שמעז.
Oh, he's so iconic. We'll put the whole video on our Tumblr, the Tube24. Now, in the future, we might have the internet flying around us, and Google wants this future sooner rather than later. Google hopes to someday use drones to broadcast the internet from the sky, enabling connection everywhere. And they're asking the US federal government permission to test their broadcasting equipment in New Mexico. Some of the equipment that will be used was acquired as part of the purchase of Titan Aerospace earlier this year. In their application, they wrote, these systems may eventually be used to provide internet connections in remote areas or help monitor environmental damage, such as oil spills or deforestation. And, of course, to make Google tons of money. They didn't mention that. Now let's make a sharp turn and move from the tech giant to the wonderful world of small startups. Yes, it's our worldwide weekly startup report. With me in the studio is our tech correspondent Shai Ringel. What kind of small-scale tech magic do you have for us this evening?
Good evening. We are starting with a small company called Roger Voice, which wants to change the way that the ear impairments talk on their phone, and they're introducing a new app that will translate every conversation into text, which means that if you can't hear the woman you want to talk to, you can look at your phone, and whoever talks will be translated into text in real time, which is a really impressive technology if it really works. The video they uploaded, it looks like it's working. I don't know, you have to test it.
Do you think it has a big market?
Yeah, it has a huge market. It has a huge market because we still didn't solve a really big problem. There are millions and millions of people who have this problem, who cannot really talk to their phone, and this can change everything. You know, of course, there are text messages and there's the internet and everything, but to the technology that can translate in real time speech is something that I hope will change the market.
Super cool. Let's move on.
Let's talk about another Tel Aviv startup festival. We had last week the DLD Innovation Convention and Open Startup in Tel Aviv. We're going to have a special about the Open Startup in Tel Aviv. And now someone wants to make another big conference, and he's looking for fundings from Kickstarter. They call themselves the Tel Aviv Startup Festival, not a convention, a festival. And if you want to present your startup in the festival, you can donate money in the Kickstarter page. And the planning's all sorts of events, but mainly to put booths of
Knowing
startups.
you, I can hear your subtext that thinks it's completely irrelevant.
Yeah, because we already have a couple of those, and you know, it's convents, festival, it's kind of the same, but the idea is interesting. Tel Aviv is really working on branding itself as a startup city, and I guess it's working on some level.
I'm sure if it will happen, we'll talk about it here
Yeah,
quite a bit.
yeah. Let's go on and talk about wearables.
Okay.
They're still a very big thing. And a new Kickstarter page that is trying to sell tech wearable that is pretty, which is a new concept.
That's a new one.
Yeah, they call themselves Elamun. And basically it's a bracelet that you can control the way it shows itself. It looks very, you know, old techy, but it comes with an app that, let's say, you are going out with a certain outfit. You can.
What else does it do except be pretty with lights and that you can...
It's only pretty. There
only pretty?
are a few little things like telling you when someone you like is calling. It will bleep a heart sign.
Okay.
And you can touch it to find your phone. If you can't find your phone, you can touch it. But the main thing is that you can take picture of a pattern, certain pattern, and it will customize the colors to that pattern.
So if you have a 14-year-old daughter, get ready to buy her that for Christmas.
Yeah, and we'll finish with the best thing that we found this week, which is another Indiegogo project this time, another crowdfunding thing called Touch Pico, which is a small, very, very small, very handheld projector that you can take with you to any room and make every wall an interactive screen, like an iPad. It comes with a stylus, pen, and the projector knows where the pen is, which means that I can take any wall, project on it, and start playing like a Nintendo Wii. It works on the same technology as a Nintendo Wii. It just recognizes the stylus itself and knows where you are in the room and can interact with it.
I almost bought it yesterday, I have to say.
Yeah.
It was something, but I didn't because I said, well, what do you really need it for? It's for... If I had a business with people and I wanted to show my presentation everywhere, it would have been perfect.
Yeah,
but just to see television on random walls and press on the wall for the play button.
If you're looking for a handheld projector, there are a few on the markets. It is very, like...
It's super cool.
It's super cool. It's light. It's fun.
But you know, it seems like crowdfunding is creating a new kind of startup focused on creating physical gadgets rather than apps or software.
Yeah, because this is the first time that small companies with big ideas can market them and make people buy them in advance, which means that small startups can have a budget from the start, which is the new thing. That means that if I'm a small startup and I want to make a physical thing, not just an app, I have the ability, which is...
You have the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I will see you next week. Okay, let's move on. This weekend, actress Emma Watson, Harry Potter girl, as she calls herself in the speech, gave a moving speech about gender equality to the UN. She spoke on behalf of the He for She campaign about what men can do to help it along. And the speech went viral. Let's take a short look.
I was appointed as Goodwill Ambassador for UN Women 6 months ago. And the more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop. For the record, feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes.
Yes, it's an excellent speech, already viewed by tens of millions around the world, but members of 4chan.com's B-board lost their very minds over this and embarked on a chauvinistic campaign against Watson almost immediately. So far, this has included a threat to release hacked nude pictures of Watson in the manner that other celebrity photos have been leaked over the past 2 months, complete with a sad little countdown website titled Emma, You Are Next. Yuck. The internet is still a very, very violent place for women. Yes, Emma, you're right. We do need to change that. Now, Bono from U2, so he's already inserted himself into everyone's iPhones this week. Yeah, we love that one. But now he wants even more control over the way you enjoy music. The U2 lead singer says that he's been working with Apple on a new audio format that'll get people paying for music once again. In an interview with Time magazine, he said that the band has been working on a secret project that's so terribly exciting to music fans that it will tempt them again into buying music. Is it possible for U2 to change the music industry again? Maybe. And because they can't do it with their music anymore, the tech world is a good choice for them. And now for the Social Watch, we have a man versus machine. Here's one crazy man running against a subway train. It's in London. They call it the Tube. Good name. Yeah, obviously there was no editing in the original video. One man's running, one man's in the train. Can he make it? And he made it. People who know London know that this is very possible to do. It's a weird thing they have there with the trains. And he's a fast, athletic dude. Good job. Now, making a music video on one iPhone, not cool. You know what's cool? A music video on 14 different iPhones, filmed one shot in real time by Ukrainian band Brunettes Shot Blondes. It's called Knock Knock. Who's there?
Knock, knock, tell me where you are. I know that I'm close, but we're apart. Somebody told me you were here. Somebody told me we Wish I could ever find you. Wish I could ever find you. Hey, ring, ring, please pick up the phone. I know that I'm asking for too much. I swear I promise you that I'm not gonna say a word if you don't wanna listen. Listen, is there something I could do? Please don't leave me in the morning. Tell me everything has gotta be right. I said, oh baby, don't leave me alone this Saturday.
Wow, that was super cool. I love creativity and imagination. Good job. And that's it for today's show. Thanks for watching. Please log on to our Twitter and our Tumblr. It's TheCube24. We have a special startups show tomorrow. It's going to be super cool. And always remember, success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. That's Winston Churchill. Goodbye. Goodbye.